Not rights and equality, but power. We ain't begging, we building.
In that order, Chicago, and we got dope segments. Hey, yo, sis, holla at them.
Peace and love, family. It's Sister E of New Era Chicago in the building, dropping the statistics, holistics, and of course the ballistics. Good for the mind, body, and the soul. Let's get it, family.
And this your boy D Cook coming with straight facts. If you don't know, now you know.
And this is your other sister, Omo Oya Music, coming in peace, love, and light, getting real with my people so we can quit with the bull spit.
And this brother E, and I'm gonna wrap it up with the power surge.
Listen, this going down every Wednesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's the Black Power Hour, New Era Chicago Radio on What's in It for the Black People Media.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
The skin I'm in fit me fine, tailor-made, yeah, I'm comfortable. And so it seems I'm still chasing my dreams. They told me, watch my steps, they want to pull the rug from under you. This is transparency, my life 3D. You live every word that I utter, reporting live from the gutter. Where the mind's hard to change, but we don't give up on our brothers and sisters. Cause we all need one another. The time's getting closer, revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the cops pull you over, they body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so it's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change? It ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear. Justice what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul. Black power gospel tunes. So many styles, watch me kick them like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at attention, ain't no Willie lynching. This the program. Who they think they kidding? Reinvent the system. Total reconstruction of our mental stigma. This ain't a game, boy. Still they think I'm talking about Nintendo's. That's a shame, boy. Augment reality. Better fix your brain, boy. I love my people, hope they love me black. I'm going hard and ain't no holding back. Watch me react. I put my fist up in the skies like a beacon for believers that one day we return to our greatest. If we seek it all the glory, we can obtain it. Keep reaching, keep reaching. I'm painting this picture. I hope you see it. Guess what the theme is? I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey, hey, hey. Well, how about you? Done sing these tunes too? Customize for you a little something you can groove to. Feeling good about yourself. Melanated mood muse. Always service humble pie. We don't care about who's who. Light brown or dark skin. This right here's for you too. We are the gods of the earth. Living proof truth. Say it loud if you black and proud. I salute you and that's a fact. Where you at? Let me hear you say it back. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud. Man, I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey, hey, hey. Super melanation, renovation of our databases. Gotta fix the trinity to make it past the matrix. There's a rabbit in the hole. No decision, you gon' chase it or just shove it for complacency. Here's your motivation. Black power in your veins. Up to us to build a nation. European mental detox completely we erase it. You can't keep fighting over old information. Probably bring it right back if you love being black. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey, hey, hey. I do this for my people all across the map. Easy for the ones who don't identify with being black. Hebrews the best elixir. Go ahead and try your batch. It's truth serum, my loose spirits. The ancestors speak to me. I spit the truth. Hear it. You broken souls here to re-engineer them so that they fearless. This precious atmospheric as the hell is spinning. Trying to strategize a way so we can start winning. It begins with pride of yourself. Embracing this feeling. Say no new friends. That's what happened to the village. Too much individualism. It's easier to pillage. I'm just making this appearance for coherence so you can understand what we up against. Hit the reset button, switch covenants. It's my contract to the people that I'm publishing. It's a new era, hood to hood, feel the power and I'm loving it. Turn up, neck turn up, strapped with the black burner. Murder, murder, you sleeping and I shoot up your server. Corrupt the service at the file, man, it's time to purge 'em. We waking up and that's what got 'em nervous. I love being black, we turning up. I love being black, say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black, hey, hey, hey.
I attended, all of the education that I had, college, public, and otherwise, nobody ever told me that I was an African woman. Nobody ever told me what the history of African people were. Nobody ever told me that America is business, and without business you will have nothing and be nothing. And nobody ever told me how to organize business so that I would be able to develop institutions in my own community. So now the sincerity of all of the programs and all of the education has to be questioned, indicted, and convicted, because the bottom line is that America is not and has never tried to produce African adults who are functional, self-sufficient, who understand their politics, their economics, and their relationship to the world politics and the world economics. Listen, you have to have some confidence in the power of African people amongst ourselves to establish a foundation. We have utter chaos in our cities, and you got to do that. You can have a program. I'm not saying we've built a lot of institutions, and those institutions have not been effective. The majority of millions of African youth in this country are dying mentally, dying spiritually, dying emotionally, dying academically, and you may have a program, Mr. Brown may have a program, but what we got to talk about is an American government that tracks millions of African people who don't go to your program, don't go to Brown's program, millions of African people, not only here, but all around the world. And if we are not honest enough to say who are our friends, who are our enemies, to know what a friend is, to know what an enemy is, we will constantly be trying to get into people's parties, to shake our butts with them, to get them to like us, and that's not the question. The question is, what can we build amongst ourselves to secure ourselves from our enemies so that we will be able to survive into the future?
Back.
Hey, yo, you know what time it is, family. One God, one aim, one destiny. You are now listening to the #1 Black Power Hour in the nation. It's New Era Chicago Radio and What's in It for the Black People Media and Family. I'm charged. I'm charged today for this show. Like, every show when we come in each week, it's that business, right? But this right here, this piece right here, I'm so charged. And you know I'm not by myself, family. Y'all already know what time it is, right?
Never.
Sister Oya right here on my side, holding it down for sure.
I'm super excited because we talking about ownership and collaboration, and we got my sister's Blue Lotus lemonades right here, and I'm sitting here with the impeccable solutions. Like, I'm just excited to jump down on it and talk about it. Like, what's good?
No doubt, no doubt. Sister E, what's good, sis? I think anybody hear me. You know what? I don't know if you coming over them sound waves. They trying to stop you today. The energy trying to stop you. You got something important to say.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I'm feeling powerful. Threw us off a little bit, but you know they ain't gonna stop.
I didn't even realize it was raining until because I haven't been out the house all day, working from home, and I didn't realize it until I came out. I was like, damn, I probably should have left a little bit earlier. Yeah, I knew it was coming with the gloom and all of that, but I'm still feeling good. I got a lot of stuff done today, so
no doubt.
All is well.
I've been bouncing back and forth, west side, south side, east side, so this is dope right here.
Yes,
Brother
sir.
E, what's up, bro?
What's up? No, what's happening, family? Y'all always be talking about I don't give y'all no emotion. I was like, I'm just gonna be like, what's up?
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, y'all know what it is, family. New Era Chicago in the building. I like the energy that we came in here with today, family. I'm feeling that, right? What that tells me is that's not making me believe that, we not going through things on a daily basis or we ain't just have to battle something. What that's telling me is that we're getting into a spot right now that we're able to maintain and maneuver through that maneuver.
Yes, sir.
We know it's there, but how do you
through that maneuver?
Come on now. That's that Eminem. That's that Eminem right there. So listen, all our people that's tuning in with us, each and every week, we want to take the time to say this. I don't want to rush through this, right? Like, if we didn't have you guys jumping on right when the show starts, we will be talking to ourselves and we'll have to watch it on the replay. We truly appreciate you all for tuning in. Be sure to tell a friend to log in, because this is what it is, family. If we're not talking about uplifting the black community and making changes and taking care of our own business, then what are we talking about, family, right?
It.
So this is it right here. We're not trying to tear anybody down. We're trying to build the community up. So the topic that we have today, what we want to talk about ownership and collaboration. I want you to think about those two. Ownership and collaboration. What does that mean to you? How did it resonate with you when you heard it? And do you think we can make it to where we're trying to go without those two?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, for sure. I think they both go hand in hand. When I first hear it, it kind of puts me in the mind of the earlier New Era days when we used to always sit and talk about the liberated zone. Mm-hmm. So, we think about individually what we all have as a power. Some people can be a soldier. Some people can work behind the scenes. Some people can cook. Some people can, do a number of things. But in all, it will cover every aspect of what we need to have what we need for our people. So I definitely think it's something that we can obtain, but we got to work.
Yeah, no doubt.
Got to work.
So when I think about ownership, right? So the first thought that came to my mind, and I was telling you guys as we were speaking about that, just as a youngster, just paying attention to what's going on in the community. I'm looking around the hood, and every store I go into, it just so happens to be someone who doesn't look like me. Mm-hmm. I mean, you just have to take note of that. Mm-hmm. I walked inside Aldi's. It was somebody else that was owning it. Mm-hmm. I walked inside Jewel's. I walked inside the beauty supply. I walked inside Sharks. I walked inside Baba's. I walked inside the game room. None of this was owned by us. Go ahead, bro.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you take note of it at that age?
So what happened was, yes, it hit me. It sparked me. And the only reason why, let me say this too. The only reason why, not that I'm that intelligent, but I think what assisted me was the hip hop music that we had at that time. Yeah, I was listening to what Chuck D said, bro. When KRS-One came in and said no chicken or turkey or goat or hamburger, cause to me that's suicide, self-murder. I said, what?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Search for meaning in the message.
Come on. So I heard it, I thought it, but I did not have a response, bro, on how we was going to react. I kind of kept that in my back pocket like a Rubik's Cube. I'm going to work on this a little bit later.
It was a seed.
Right.
It was
a seed that was planted. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was a seed that was planted, bro. Yeah.
I don't. Now, for me, it wasn't like that. I don't know. I think I can remember the first time I really realized something was wrong in my community. I was like about 4th grade. My cousin had gotten shot. Cousin had gotten killed. And it was the first time that I can remember being impacted by, something like that. And, I just kind of thought about, that incident kind of sparked some thoughts like, man, why are black people the way they are? Mm-hmm. And I just kind of dismissed it like, well, shit, that's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. And I didn't revisit that conversation probably until about easily 20, 25 years later. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It just the whole idea of us things being the way that they are. And the reason I asked you that question, did you take note of it at that age? Because I definitely didn't. You know what I'm saying? It had been so normalized. It's normal mm-hmm. for us to see other people owning our community, teaching our children, being in positions of authority over us. We just accept that shit as routine. It's normal. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing that we definitely need to attack and examine that some more.
No doubt.
Changing the narrative.
Yeah, change that.
Absolutely. And let me say this too, right? Because there was a time, just roaming around aimlessly and just moving, skipping to the game room, what I'm saying? Hanging out. We trying to buy Vintner's chips. I'm trying to get 4 for $1. Mm-hmm. I ain't worried about what the community looked like. But again, it was things that, if you can't run something past me, I've always been that type of person. I'll take a radio apart just to see how it works, right?
I love that kind of stuff.
If I watch Boys in the Hood, you know what I'm saying? They're Furious Styles. Come here, let me talk to y'all for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I want you to pay attention to this neighborhood. That sparked me. That opened something, right? And so, yeah, I didn't know how to respond, but I'm like, yeah, something wrong inside the community.
That's
Something
what
wrong.
it was for me. Like so there was 87th and Ashland. I grew up over east, but then when I was able to recognize what was happening, we was out south, 86th and Marshfield. There was a record store that was black owned, and
Coops.
it wasn't
87?
called Coops then. Was it called Coops? It was,
No, not Coops.
but it's 87th and Ashland.
Yeah,
it's
I know
over
what
there.
you're
And it was,
talking
so I grew up with that. You can go in there and get your penny candies and all this kind of stuff. And he would have people come. So it was big in the community, the energy in there. And then the corner store that we all went to was called Mom and Pops, and it was owned by a white family. And the laundromat was also owned by them, and it was called Tip to Toe or whatever. I recognized the difference in these people that own this store aren't from this community. Like, I recognize that. And so my mama was really big on the PBS specials. Like, we were always watching Malcolm and Martin. So she made me aware as it related to, this is what used to happen back in the day. But she didn't necessarily have the tools to break it down for me, ownership and things. So it was present in my mind, but like you said, I didn't know where to go with it.
I didn't tell myself, you know what? I'm about to get me a business, man. We gonna shut this down.
Yeah.
I'm just like, something is
I didn't
wrong
get
with this.
that
This
part.
picture is wrong,
Until
right?
20-something years later.
and before you jump in, Sister E, like, you just struck my mind right now, bro. The first time I heard something or saw something that struck in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely a problem right here. We got to change this, bro. Just being in high school, bro. Just being in high school and leaving the school and trying to hit that local corner store. Like, I went to Bowen. Like, as soon as we left out of the school, we had right there on 87th in South Chicago, like, Arabs, they owned a little convenience store right there. We been in school all day. We been sitting down. We hyperactive. We want some candy, like, right now.
We from the purchase.
We got our backpacks on, man.
Can't
we
bring
look.
me in one or
Yeah.
two at a
Come
time.
on, man. They got to stop us at the door.
Yeah.
Stop. Only two of y'all. That resonated with me, bro. I was like, how come only
You
two
still
of
see
us
it
can
now.
walk in the
Yeah.
store?
Fuck you mean?
Right. What do
still
you
see
mean
it.
only two of us can walk in the store?
It speaks to their arrogance too. Like, they the most attractive thing about us is our dysfunction. Everybody builds they builds and maintains their entities, their enterprises off of our dysfunction. Like, the fact, like you say, man, and that's not even the most gross offense. But to think that for them to be confident enough to come into our communities, be able to treat us any kind of way, and just know that we gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? I heard a brother say before, he was like, I guarantee you there's a family over in Afghanistan or Palestine or somewhere right now planning to come straight to the ghetto because they know they can build a future
the
off
youth.
of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But I have some early memories of going to black-owned stores. The first one was on 57th and Loomis. I lived over there from like 5 to probably 10. And the store was Mr. Clark's. Your mom used to send you to the school, to the store with
Yeah,
the notes or
with the
whatever.
list.
And he was a mean, grumpy man, but
Newport 100s.
we took care of him. And he still had the cigarette machine that you pull out. He had that.
Oh,
I ain't telling my age, but I'm good with it anyway. But Mr. Clark's. And then after he passed on, it was just kind of like. And then when I moved to 62nd in May, we had Hamps. Now Hamps. That was everybody's store. He had games in there. It was liquor. It was candy. It was everything. But the community took care of those stores. You know what I mean? It was a lot that probably happened in front of the stores, but nothing happened to children in front of those stores. So, that just thinking about it, it was just, it gave you the sense of community. And that was my first, eye opener of, ownership
I always wonder
for us.
I'm sorry.
No, you good, Queen. Go ahead.
Now, I always wonder what happens. So, like these are stores that we remember. The radio store is gone. Like, it's a barbershop now, and it was a couple of different things. And when we talk about ownership, like, this is somebody's grandfather, uncle, whoever that owned this store
For years.
And so, how do we let go of them?
I think those individuals that did own their businesses when we were younger, they were the last vestiges of individuals who had that mindset before the whole integration, rights and equality shit. Like we want to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? I believe those are people who had that mindset because we used to have that mindset to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? It was because we had no choice.
Exactly.
Right.
We had no choice, but integration, which was one of the worst things that could have happened to us. Dr. Claude Anderson talks about that, how much, how we just was sold this bill of goods, like, because somebody else does not want us in. It was like a mind trick they played on us. You know what I'm saying? Like our lives was so much, our quality of life was so much poorer because we weren't accepted in your establishment or whatever, or just wherever in your space, period. You know what I'm saying? That game that they played on us, and like, we've spent a good 40, 50 years. You start to see it coming back as of late, but a good 40, 50 years seeking to be accepted. As opposed to like, man, fuck you. We building our own.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality we need to have. Like, fuck everybody. We'll build our own table. The chairs, from the top to the bottom, we gonna build it.
I know a lot of times right now, even with, my oldest son, he's getting ready to graduate from high school, and I tell him, don't stress yourself out about continuing. And, some people agree, some people don't, whatever. I encourage him, you do what's best for you, what you know that you're going to get up in the morning and do. If you tired of school, you want to take a break, you can go to local community college, go to trade school. I really want him to go to trade school. But do what makes you happy. Don't worry about like the money and all of that stuff like that, because doing something that you have a passion on doing, that will be your payment. Because it's not a job. It's not something that you like dragging ass to do. And on top of that, these businesses, these companies out here, they don't give a damn about you
at all.
This is their dream. This is their business. And I mean that physically and literally. This is their business. So, all the everyday things that we may go through, they, the kids, not the generation, what they call the millenniums, they have a sense of their own and doing what the hell they want to do. And I don't see much wrong with it, but it needs to be directed. So if they, if we driving them and reminding them now, hey, if you have a niche for this, then you need to pay yourself and invest in yourself so that you won't have to, I tell business all the time, do what you have to do now so you can do what you want to do later, and so that's just something that we have to you got to hear the youth out, see what it is that they like, try to feed it as best as we can, and just continue to, introduce that you can have your own. You can be, you can contribute to our society for you all's future. So I think that's real important. And then just the fact that they need to see it.
One of our sisters said that we need to encourage our children to study business, like go to school for business. How important do you think that is?
I think it's really important.
It's extremely important. Extremely important. So, listen, as we were just talking right now, right? I'm always in this space. I'm trying to put puzzle pieces together. Like when my grandma, Big Mama used to have that 1,000 puzzle fit, I would always put a couple of her puzzle pieces in. I walk back like, whoa, that look like that go up there, right? Like I always been putting
Stop
pieces
touching Big
together.
Mama stuff, because
that's what that stuff, right? But filling pieces in. So as people talking, I'm listening to you, brother, and you saying like the last vestiges, like the last ones who understood that message, like backs are against the wall. My back is against the wall right now. We have no other choice other than to do this. The first thing that popped in my mind was that relief that we talked about last week, right? Like what would get us to such a docile state? The relief, right? That popped into my mind, right? And then, I went back to like our insult levels. Like we've lost our insult level, right? So now I'm like, okay, well, we don't want to blame for the whole hour because we didn't get anywhere. What's the solution? Like, how do we get this back, right? And so I got to thinking about community. I think this is the work that New Era is doing. Man, listen, family. People walk by us, they honk their horns when they see us out on streets is watching. They see us on hood to hood. All right, now y'all doing y'all thing. That's what's up, right? And while we embrace it, like family love, right?
I'm sick of
Love
that
to
shit.
see it. However,
that's not taking us to the next level. Patting us. what we're seeking is not a pat on the back from the community.
Come on.
For individual accolades. We all bosses in our own lanes already. That's not what we seeking, family. We seeking to show what black love and black unity and black power looks like in public when there are moving parts, right? It's action. Aggressively coming together in our own neighborhood. Did y'all catch that?
Damn.
Aggressively coming together, right? Not just coming together, aggressively coming
like
together,
that, bro.
right?
You made that up?
Yeah, bro. I was
That's
going to do
dope.
a program
Put it on
on
the
that before
t-shirt.
9's over 9.
I like that.
Right?
Aggressively coming together
In our neighborhoods.
in our own
Yeah,
neighborhood.
in our own neighborhood.
Action.
Yeah, aggressively coming together. And so the piece that's missing, like youth, when I was a young man, I knew that I loved words. Rapping changed my life because it's the only thing in the world that will make me pop open the dictionary and learn some new words so I can murk my man down the street with 16 bars next week. Boy, you ain't never heard
You don't know
nobody
nothing about
spit
this cipher.
soliloquies.
What
you
you
ain't
want?
never heard nobody say that, boy. And so, if it was an adult around that can see that and season that, like, boy, this boy, he taking a liking to that already, right? When you see your child, when your child comes to you and be like, Mom, Dad, I want you to listen. I wrote a poem. I wrote 16 bars. That's
Act like that's all you heard today.
right.
Just be at full
That's-
of that's my shit.
That's
bro.
what we talking about when we mean season them.
Yeah.
I want to say this, and I'm going to pass the mic, and I'm done for today. Listen,
Don't be
I
done.
did, but I want to make room for everybody. I mean, as far as like hogging the
you
mic,
good,
right?
bro.
I want
You
us to
good.
see this, right? Like when I was in school, I'm not saying that everybody got to walk through a school building. I'm not saying that. But for what I needed to do, what I'm trying to do, I had to go there and get me some education about what I bring into these young men, right? We did, in our social work program, we had this class. What was our class? Anyway, we did breakdowns on cultures, culture awareness, cultural diversity. And so in the classroom, we worked on a particular group. We worked on the Amish on this particular group session. We talked about the Amish community. And I listened to it with this type of keen eye because I'm always trying to like build us and I'm trying to look like, how is the rest of the world moving? Like I'm curious about that. Like Indian reservations, how we're being treated. Amish, I see those buggies sometimes moving. How are they living? Like off the grid. And then we broke it down and dissected it in their community, right? We know they try to limit on the electricity and how they move, but how they stay reproducing and moving is that the elders in the community pay attention to the youth.
And the
And they
direct them.
designate
Yeah.
and say, you are a natural
Right.
born educator. Bring your daughter to the school. That's the teacher.
Yeah.
This man right here is off the chain building. Yo, bring that man down here, man. This is the man that's building. We're not seasoning our youth in that particular way.
Go ahead, sis. No,
When
go
Will
ahead.
talked about assimilation, I think that's the biggest issue is we spend so much time telling our children what we think they're supposed to be based on what supremacy tells us we're supposed to be.
Say that.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't, when we have musicians, we don't understand that like you're being attacked with the music, but you aren't prepping musicians
Come on.
and edifying them so that they can go out and put out the right vibration. When you have that baby that will come in the room and want to take your temperature and you know what I'm saying, you tired, but it's like this baby is telling you who they are.
Yeah.
And so as parents, that's
Heal
our
us.
fucking responsibility.
Come on,
Yep.
now,
To
sis.
find out
Come
who
on.
they are
Yep.
Come
and
on.
then put them in position to be the best that they can be.
Yep.
Not only as parents, but as a society. Remember
Yeah.
last week I talked about how our social cohesion has been broken and destroyed. So like, you know, our enemies can come in and pick the top pick of the litter, so to
Yeah.
speak, and they get to direct them. You know,
said that.
when they have individuals who are highly intelligent and whatnot, they send them off to their institutions and they shape their minds and they prep them as opposed to us keeping them and having them work towards you know, goals and whatnot that better our community. You know, another piece about the assimilation and you know, just being accepted. I heard Dr. Umar say, he said, we are the only group of people whose standard of excellence is attained outside of ourselves. That we aspire to like the shit that we look to as a point of aspiration is something that we don't see in ourselves. So you have to get out of, you know what I'm saying? You have to get out of our neighborhood in order to be considered successful. You know what I'm saying? That's man, that's crazy. It's something that we definitely have to combat and attack. You talked about the Amish and how they pay attention to their children. Like we absolutely got to do that. I mean, in every aspect, man. We got thinkers. We got philosophers
already.
We got soldiers. We got
builders.
warriors. Man, these niggas out here busting. It's some cowards out here. There's some hoes out here, but it's some. They fearless.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
You know what I'm saying? And they have to be that. They got that warrior spirit. Man, we got to get them and direct that energy. That's our army right there, man. You know what I'm
There it
saying?
is.
We have to be able to pay attention to whatever skill set the Creator has put in us as a child. We have to hone that, cultivate it, and then place it where it needs to be for the betterment of our communities and our society.
Let's go.
And a lot of that stems from and how we can just start or continue to do that. You know, New Era Chicago, we strive in many different ways to just bring the youth. A lot of that we just need to. We started out having just our open mics, and the fight that the youth had was just amazing. So and it's not not to bring up the event itself, but I'm like hella excited because the ones that I've been in contact with is just like I knew they was coming. You know what I mean? And it's just exciting to hear how they view the world right now. They angry. You know what I'm saying? And they're looking for somebody to help them understand why does their community look the way it do. Why are they raising themselves? And they just looking for somebody to, just to listen and hear them out. So when we started talking about, ownership and collaboration, we all talked about this as well. We have to get into the trust thing that, the trust issues that Black folks have. It's just like one time we been burned, we ain't doing it no more. Same thing with the Black owned stores. We going into these stores and no, we may not like, the one the first or second visit, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, pull your sister or your brother to the side and say, hey, you know what, this probably run a lot smoother if XYZ. Give them the opportunity to correct it.
With respect.
Go ahead, Ken.
Man, Queen ain't want you to lose your thought right there.
I know,
right?
I'm
But
good.
I just had the thought right now, like, why is it so difficult to do that? Because of the trauma that we sitting with, like, already, right? It blocks me
The
from
trauma
being,
training.
It's trauma training, and a lot of it, a lot of this shit is copied and paste. A lot of it is copied and paste. A lot of people be like, everybody always talking about bad black. Yeah, but have you went in there and did your due diligence and spoke to the owners or that brother and that sister? If it's really in you to support people, you ain't gonna be like, man, hell no. You're after your first test. Some people walk into businesses with that attitude. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, all y'all ain't gonna go. Some of y'all ass gonna be on the front getting dropped anyway. So go ahead, but don't sit there and just give up on your people and then so publicly like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's your piece, keep your piece. Just give them the opportunity to make it right. What happened? It could have been a bad day or whatever. Everybody got a bad day.
And that's the problem for me. And I want to call bullshit on everybody with that mentality. Like, you've been to these other stores that aren't Black owned and you ain't pulled no motherfucking body to the side.
Nope.
You ain't gave a shit. You go in there with your wallet out, your card in hand, and if they follow you through the store, you make a post, you complain, but you take your
Ain't
ass
say
right back in
nothing.
there.
Yep, you ain't walked out and said I ain't gonna spend my money here. Matter of fact,
you
it was a
didn't do
badge of honor for you to show them that you still could afford it.
Exactly.
After they disrespected you.
So
Man.
let's just
But you acting like I can't afford this.
Yeah.
let's just be honest.
You big.
And you lying to your damn self. Yeah. Stop lying to yourself, trying to
Yeah.
act like, oh, well, Black owned, and I just have this level of integrity when I'm spending my money that it
Yeah,
needs to be
I
like
need-
this.
girl,
Get
bye.
your ass out of here.
Yeah,
Stop
on
it.
everything,
It's
right?
bull. I'm calling
right
bullshit.
Exact, Carl. I was just about to say that. Sis was right exact with her language right there, right? Like, we got to call BS on that right there, family. Like, that right there, that's negative.
You've been brainwashed.
Negative.
Yeah. Bamboozled.
What were you? Hey, piglet, ixnay. Ixnay.
On the Oopus Day.
Hey, family. Ain't no room for that right there. There's no room for us to pick and choose
Yeah.
which black folk gonna support other black folk.
Yeah.
No, come on, family.
And
That's
stop snitching.
Think about this.
We
family.
have
Dropping dry.
we got to be, but you know what? We have to. We're talking about this right now in that space. But to people who are listening and who may be dealing with those issues, you have to be mindful of your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been on that kick lately. Like, we have millions of thoughts that cross our minds every day that we ain't aware of.
I do.
That we ain't aware of, and when I catch myself with some shit that I don't desire, you know what I'm saying? I check it and try to think something totally different. So when you find yourself, you know what I'm saying, thinking a negative or ill or lacking thought about a black business, you need to be conscious of that.
Of your
Get
bullshit.
control of your mind. Get control of your mind, because they got control of it now. But get control of your mind, and don't just automatically be on what's the word, autopilot, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to us, when it comes to your people, make sure that if you have a perspective on something, make sure it's informed by actual, an actual experience. And like you said, when you do have a negative experience, you still need to proceed with your people in love and compassion, because you ain't gonna listen. We all that we fucking got.
Yeah.
We all that we got. So it ain't
On every level.
I don't fuck with them. I ain't going over there no more. This is why I don't do black businesses.
And then
it ain't none of that.
Get right on social media with it. I be looking like, what type of attention do you need? You looking for somebody to clap? Like, what do you need? Because the post just, I don't know. They just irritate me, because it's just like, did you talk to anybody? You know what I'm saying? You just walk in thinking that it's supposed to be like, a ground made of gold. No, man, that's your, come on now.
Y'all know my thing. My thing is food. I like good food, right? So I've been hearing about this restaurant. I ain't going to even say where it's at, because everybody going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'll tell you all that. I've been hearing about this restaurant, man. Everybody talking about it. So I take my ass over there, right? I ordered my food to go. Waited like an hour for my food, right? I ain't tripping. I'm still in there. Black love, black unity, black power, baby. I'm in there on it. I'm an hour away from my food, right?
Being black.
So what I'm waiting for the most, I get my meal. A couple of the items were good. Some of it was The last thing was the peach cobbler, right? Now I don't play about no. I don't play about no damn peach cobbler, bro. I don't play about that. I paid a good amount of money for it too, like $8.
Yeah, for a little piece, just a triangle.
They gave you a taste, man.
Let me tell you something. I'm not even the type of person that usually complains about nothing. I called them motherfuckers for like 3 weeks trying to get through, and it was busy. It was big. But I was going in black love though. Hey. That peach cobbler ain't have enough nutmeg, cinnamon, no butter, no salt. Like, hey, bro, y'all out of pocket for that shit, man. And I paid like $8 for that. Bro, man, y'all got to come on, man.
Definitely calm down in 3 weeks.
But it was black love though. You know what I'm saying? I was highly disappointed, but I still proceeded in black love.
And will you go back?
I haven't been back. I will go back though. Mm-hmm. I haven't been back. Just because, I know I can find some better food from other places, but I will go back,
The cook called off.
Yeah. Big Mama was busy.
His goldfish died. Somebody be all right.
Somebody was in the back playing with the seasoning.
Listen here, family. You are tuned in to the #1 Black Hour station show in the nation's New Era Chicago radio family on What's In It for the Black People Media. We are discussing ownership and collaboration. Now, collaboration, that piece right there, that can get tricky right there. Because a lot of times, I spoke on this kind of like last week too, right? A lot of us, say for instance, let's think here, let's see. I'm just going freestyling off the top of my head. A lady that she's good at nails. All right, then you have a young lady, she's good at doing hair. Like the collaboration to put those two inside.
And you somebody that's
spot
good at
was
business.
ingenious.
And spread it out.
Right, I'm like, okay, all right, just one stop. Then I got somebody thinking like, you know what? What if we got the hair and the nails and a daycare attached together? That'll pop, won't it? That way people can drop their show these off Collaborations. When I think about collaborations,
My mama talked about
I want
that.
you to think to yourself, I want you to know this, because someone had to give this to me, right? You have to know that the dream that you have is directly attached to the dream someone else has. Like, I'm a photographer.
Facts.
I love taking pictures, right? Of what? You know what I'm saying, right? And you doing something outstanding. I'm in my lane of what I do. Your dream is attached.
Everybody
We can
got a
connect,
power.
bro.
Everybody got a power.
Right? And so we have to look at everybody like that, bro. We look at ourselves like that, like our dream, our dream, our dream. But what about the next person's dream? And if you look at it like that, bro, you understand through the historical trained trauma that my brother told me about today, right? You know you're going to have trip-ups when we walk inside some stores. It's to be expected, family. The same way you know when you pull up to Cracker Barrel,
Who eats?
you going to be
That
like,
fucking
you
Cracker
look through there and you be like, you know what?
Not me. Eric, he love that.
Hey, listen,
He says...
it's just a name, goddammit. It's just a name.
I'm just saying though, when you pull up, right, you like, okay, it may not, particular spots you go to, just remove it. Particular spots you go to, you don't see no brothers in there or no sisters.
Man.
You like, okay, I kind of know what type of interaction this going to be, right? And you still take your butt in there and you deal with it, right? I'm saying, let's find that same type of, y'all.
No, because I want to see his
look,
card.
Hey, sis gave her a look like, hold on, brother E there. And you damn straight I do.
You can't kill
Hey,
my
but
brother.
listen, check this out though.
I'm going to do it.
Can't nobody question my blackness. My boots is strapped. I'm on the ground with it.
If I catch
I'm
your
with
ass
it.
in a Cracker
Hey,
Barrel,
I went in there one
A
time.
lot of people that's listening might go there too. I didn't mean to just call that out, right?
I'm talking about y'all too.
Look, since
we
I went in there,
family. We
I went in
family.
there one time. I felt guilty as hell. I was like, man, I'm sitting here. And this is
Man,
called
look.
Cracker and
I
Barrel.
went in there one time and with the family down south,
I
and they
was
were
like,
like,
nah,
"This is,
man.
we gonna eat at Cracker Barrel." And I was like, "I
No,
ain't never
ma'am.
been there." And I went in there and I was like, "Is this the shit that y'all?"
I was in there like, let me hurry up,
They
get
got
out
old
of
school
here.
pictures
Somebody
you go
catch me.
inside, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, "What plantation did I land in? What the fuck is that?"
Man.
I was like, no,
We talking about
ma'am.
collaborations, family. We talking about collaborations.
Back on subject, y'all. Back on subject,
Now
family.
we own it though, right? Because it's what it is, right? Like collaboration, family. We have to stop saying to ourselves, you know what? I'ma prove all them wrong. Ain't nobody never had my back. Ain't nobody never did shit for me. I'm going solo. Bet nobody better not ask me for shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, but you forget the times in your life where even your mama sustained you, when you couldn't change your own diaper, family. You ain't never really truly been at this by yourself.
Somebody was there.
Somebody was there.
Yeah.
Whether you recognize it or not. And it was a support system for you, family.
Facts.
You went in there with a little bit more confidence in the next child that never met their mother or father before, right? Somebody was there for you, right? So if we change that mentality and we flip it inside out, like everyone is connected to, all living things are connected to all other living things, right? So if we know that, now I'm thinking deliberately, how can what I do assist or help my brother or sister? This is the call to action that New Era Chicago has, not just for the city of Chicago, but across this nation. The work that you see us doing on a daily basis is with this intentionally in mind. What can we do to bring our community together? That's what it's about. The collaboration piece. Why I'm speaking on this, because it's just as important as the ownership piece. Don't boss up on us, you know what I'm saying, and be like, all right, I'm bossed
I'm gone.
up.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gone, I'm good. No. It's to whom much is given, much is required, right? It's several things that, you said something, man, that stood with me, I'll never forget. You said when you was young, it was either mom or dad that said, man, you can remember everything. Then you got older, and then somebody said that to you because you forgot something. And then I think it was mom that said, like, that's because you got more things to remember.
My old man.
Dad said that. Yeah.
Right, your old man, right? We got more things. To whom much is given, much is required. When you have a deeper understanding, there is a deeper commitment you have to give. I talked about this one time. Forrest Whitaker was playing the King of Scotland. He asked somebody in the movie, one of the black men, like, how's your family doing? He was like, my family doing great. Right? He meant like his wife, his children. He asked Forrest Whitaker, like, how your family doing? He's like, not so good. He's like, your wife okay? He's like, oh, she's straight. My people.
My family.
There you go.
My family.
There you go. That's a powerful piece, bro. We got to adopt that mindset, and we're capable. You see it all the time. You can see how the type of words we use to describe our sports teams. You can be like, man, I think we gonna do good this year.
Yeah.
Our record is this. You know,
We
this
sick.
is we that. But when it comes to damn, something in my eye, man. When it comes to our community, you know, we rugged individualists all of a sudden. You know, there's nothing. You have nothing for your people, nothing for your community. You know, like we got to fix that. Got to get over that.
As a part of solution, I think that because it can be difficult, like when it's your baby, when it's your dream. Because, like, let's say we all could connect on a business idea. We're strong individuals. We may have different ideas on how to go about it. Some of the things that we can do as it relates to building the tolerance to work together is doing it with your family, right? So we all got to shop. We all need the basicness, things. So maybe we collaborate together with our families, get in touch with your sisters, your aunts, and say, listen, let's shop together and spend just things that you can do to help you gain, to make it a habit, to make it easy for you to collaborate. Yeah, to make it effortless so that when you step out into the world, then you can do it on a greater level.
On a grand scale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I just heard Sis say and talk about is absolutely prevalent, like group economics, working together, like that collaboration, group economics, like us four coming together right now just to buy a piece of property with 4 units inside it. Makes sense, right? 4 units, we all live inside the building. Group economic. If we had 8 units, we all could live inside the building and pull rent down from another apartment, right? Group economics, working together, family. Listen, we don't all have the answers right now, right? But remember we talked about earlier, a lot of times imagination can be more powerful than your wisdom. Sometimes I sat in the cell for 10 years. I know my imagination can be more powerful than my wisdom at times, right? Season the imagination of our youth at an early age. Allow that to grow, right? And they'll paint that picture. We can design it, but allow them to grow. You never thought when we was growing up that we would change from taking pictures like, stand there for a second. You ready? Click, click.
Don't do that. Not with the Polaroid.
Couldn't imagine.
You never imagined that we would take pictures a different way than having the Polaroid coming out.
Right.
You never imagined that you can get your film developed quicker than taking it to Osco and getting them back. And I got into a fight with somebody. Like, let me get my negatives. My negatives wasn't in here. All right, I'm going to need them later. All right. Now I'm walking around with a camera built in on my phone. I can just pull pics down. You never thought that you would not hail a taxi one day? Uber pull right up. Pull up on me. You never thought that you would be looking at the post office and talking about them going distinct? That's exactly what's happening. My email's right here. Technology changes on a daily basis is what I'm saying, family. We have to change with it, else in 20 or 30 years, they'll be talking about us the way they talking about Sears.
That's a dope point, bro. You know, everything is imagination. Everything that's been created, everything that's been done had to be imagined first. So that's an excellent point.
Yeah, family.
I'm getting ready to, in the spirit of collaborating in home or group economics and sharing the black business for today. Now, look, y'all, I'm going to spell it for you. And don't judge me because I nagged them like, how would you pronounce that? I think it's Sawas.
I was like,
right. I think it's Sawas, but it's SAWAA''S. And so in previous shows, I done talked to y'all about my Black-owned Reynolds wrap. This is where I got it from. And so they got trash bags. They have the 13-gallon bags, 40 count for $9.99. You know, they the freezer bags, $4.99, and they do packages. So when I first purchased, it was via package, and I still have some, stuff that I'm using, and I've been able to share a little bit. But this is a Black-owned business, so SAWAA''S. Go on there, look for it, figure out how much the package costs. Call your cousin, call your sister, and be like, listen, it's $50. You give me 25, I got 25, and we gonna split this. That way you don't have to worry about, your basic needs.
That's the website?
It's the name of the company. So the website is SAWAAS.com. You can also find it on Facebook. So if you just look that up, you'll be able to find it. And it's Black owned, and it's just it's shit that you need. You gonna need it. Thanksgiving coming up. Who not getting ready to need Reynolds wrap? Or foil. We ain't gonna call it Reynolds wrap because Reynolds is a company. We're gonna call it foil. Y'all gonna need this foil. You're gonna need the trash bags. And I speak from experience. It's quality product. So go ahead, shop with your people and share with your people to start building this, this idea of sharing and collaboration.
Come on now.
And buying black. Buying black,
right? Supporting your own, right?
That's it.
Being deliberate about that.
Yep.
Like deliberate. Like you deliberately have to, I'm passing up Sharks. I'm passing up Baba, so I can go right over here and kick it with Harold. I already know we about to slap box in the middle of this bad boy, but you know what? I'll be back tomorrow again.
Yeah.
I put my salt and pepper and mild sauce on my chicken, all right, family, not on the side. We just got to work together like that, family, until we get it right. That's what we have to do.
That's it.
Ain't no room to do nothing else. Now, listen, I know y'all not going to talk about it.
Yeah, we will.
Because y'all are always going to put the spotlight on somebody else. You ain't going to never talk about the businesses that y'all got going on inside here. You always talking about somebody else stuff, right? Sister E I don't know about that. You can let me in. Let me in. What you got going on, Queen?
Blue Lotus Holistic Hub. So the idea behind Blue Lotus Holistic Hub, I completed the massage therapy program in 2020, December of 2020, and my idea was I was a pharmacy technician for about 16 years. So I worked, chemo, everything that was just ugly about the medical field. And I've always had a niche for trying to heal other people naturally. I be in the pharmacy, they get some the diaper rash cream. Now, girl, go home and brown you some flour, XYZ, and just different things
Put some
that.
Garlic in your shoes.
Yeah, stuff like that. And so I just kind of went with it, and with that, just this idea of being able to create a holistic hub, whereas I can serve healthy drinks, I can, create my own tinctures, just pass out all the information that I can that's for free to our people, just to help extend, just our vitality. You know what I mean? So that was the idea behind that. The lemonades, they're made with brown sugar, spring water, and real fruit. And they are weather, they're geared towards whatever season. So we eat with the seasons. We encourage people to eat with the seasons. And then I also provide smoothies as well.
Man,
to help build the immune system.
I got me a whole case over here. I'm ready to do my thing over here. Now, let me ask the question real quick, because I want to go to Sister Oya as well, right? But I want to know, and this is for everyone at home, and they're thinking about starting a business. They're thinking about starting a business, right? There was a decision that you had to make at some point as you were checking in as a pharmacy technician, 9 to 5, doing this every day. Something was in the back of your mind, man, there's something out here I can create. Remember that imagination, there's something in you that was burning. When you first made your first batch or you had your first sale, can you just tell me what that felt like to know something that you created was wanted by someone?
It's always the reaction. So y'all just miss Brother Ease. I'm always trying to mix up something.
Rewind
different.
it because you'll be able to see it.
I'm always just trying to mix up something, but it was just the response of people, and knowing that it's a healthy opportunity. Alternative. So that was it. And then I'm always just trying to, taste buds. We don't like nasty stuff, but we just gotta kind of get away from it and just retrain our taste buds.
There it is. Sister Oya, come on. We got a couple of minutes, but I know the best freedom in the world is that ownership.
Listen,
right?
and I'll start with the latter part, right? Your question. I am not a person that can work for other people. whenever I've had jobs, I've always been in a space where it's like, this could be done better. And if it were mine, I would do it this way. And so I had to quit talking shit and say to myself, so then do your own so you can run it the way you want to run it. Now, I am employed because, we getting up off the ground. But I have a cleaning business. And my thought behind that is, number one, on some Virgo stuff, I just like it. I like having the music on and cleaning and decluttering spaces. The biggest thing about my business is the organization, because what a lot of people don't understand in my background is in psychology, if you live in a cluttered space, then your mind is cluttered as well. Like, you can't function in that way. And so I like to be able to go into space. And it's a market that's not tapped into by Black businesses. And I wanted to be there, and I wanted to say, hey, I can help you declutter your space, therefore declutter your mind, and help you get on track and focus. So you can go to www.soimpeccablyclean.com. That's the website. soimpeccablyclean@gmail.com. But if you go to the website, book something, I'll come check it out for you and see what we could do. I also do after event cleaning. So if y'all getting ready to just turn up on Thanksgiving, I'll probably be at home. But if you book me, I'll come and make sure y'all ain't got to worry about all that other stuff.
That's dope right there. I got to keep that in mind myself.
Yeah.
Listen, family, this is what it's about. Passing information. Why do we do this? Because our network is our net worth. This is what it's about, family. New Era Chicago Radio. Any final words, Brother E?
Man, love on your people, man.
All day.
That's it.
That's what it is, family. It's New Era Chicago Radio, #1 Black Power Hour in the nation on What's in It for the Black People Media. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
We all need one another. The time's getting closer. Revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the gospel you owe it ain't body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so it's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change? It ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear, just as what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul. Black power gospel tunes. So many styles, watch me kick them like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at a